Dino, Jack and Ash.
Yeah, that Artemis rocket that's going to launch tonight at 10:30. Is that taking people to the moon?
It's kind of paving the way to take people for the moon. It's the way for the US to get back into the space game, I guess. They've kind of been out of it for a little bit, so yeah.
I think it's about time we get back on the moon.
Right?
Yeah, why not?
Why aren't we on the moon already?
There's been a lot of exploration around Mars. I feel like Mars has been the focus for a little while. You could be right.
The moon feels superior, though. Like, I want to get to the moon.
Why, Jack?
Because it's just far prettier, if I'm being honest.
Really? I think it looks barren.
The moon?
Yeah.
No, the moon is gorgeous.
Apologise to the moon, Ash.
Yeah, but
sorry.
it is barren. Like, there's nothing on the moon.
That's what we don't know, Ash.
We've been to the moon.
Have you been there, hon?
But, hey, we went there when there was the shitty rockets. Now we got the flash ones.
Yeah, but the moon has stayed the same. It's still...
Yes, but, you know, they could have not checked under a rock or something.
Right?
Ash. No, that's pretty cool. So 10:30 tonight, you can watch it.
10:30 tonight, Artemis Moon.
Whereabouts in America does it take off
in
from?
Florida.
Florida, Cape Canaveral. That's not right, is it?
No.
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 Chuck the resort croc on there.
Oh, yeah. Pop
There's
it
enough
on.
of them in Florida.
Yes. What else was interesting in your news, Ash? Oh, did you guys see Anna Paul over the weekend, the TikTok star?
No. What did she do?
She's from the Gold Coast, and she's... I'm learning about Anna Paul. I'm an old man. She's 23,
Yeah.
and in the city, she's launching an activewear brand, and there were thousands of kids lining up.
Oh, is this the Stacks girl?
Stacks girl.
Right, I did see
Thousands
this.
of, like... More people were lining up for Anna Paul than Shaq was at Culture Kings.
In Perth.
Is she a TikTok girl or an
Melbourne.
OnlyFans girl?
Both. Melbourne and Perth. So she was in Melbourne on Saturday. And
Right.
the crowd was... I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I saw then yesterday in Perth, fans were devastated because the lines and the crowd got too out of control that they had to shut the meet and greet
I'm
down.
just reading that a tent collapsed as massive crowds flocked to the opening, and I've never heard of this girl.
Right? This is wild shit. You forget that we know nothing and the internet is king.
TikTok's a whole other world.
Like thousands of kids. They were like, had rugs. They were camping over to buy this chick's leggings. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Stacks is a great activewear brand, though.
Oh,
get
yeah?
it. I get it.
You camp out for 12 hours,
Yeah.
dog?
And
Absolutely not.
And this article says that tension started boiling over when rowdy fans started queue jumping. You can imagine the anger.
Right. Psycho.
The other thing here
What?
as well, it's like, okay, so this woman is on TikTok, and on OnlyFans. If you really want to see Anna Paul, I reckon you just subscribe on OnlyFans and you're getting
Well,
a lot more than what you'd see in person.
No, but they were all young girls lining up. There were no, like, pervy men. Every single person lining up in Melbourne were, like, young chicks. Like, it's their hero. Like, she was... I'm telling you, it was more than Harry Styles mania. It was crazy shit.
How?
That's insane.
Tom, do you know who Anna Paul is?
No.
See?
What?
And you guys are hell young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How bizarre.
This is. Have any of our listeners heard of Anna Paul? How are we?
We are dunces.
I'm not across. I'm not across Anna Paul.
I'm telling you, it was crazy. I had to move. They had to get out of the way of my car to get into my little parking lot.
What?
It was people everywhere.
So it was almost like lockdown protest level crowds.
Maybe bigger than them shits.
That's crazy.
Way bigger than them. Anyway. Good morning, Melbourne. It's the early show on Nome 100. Jack,
Did you just subscribe?
I didn't just subscribe to Anna Paul. What I've realised, though, is Twitter is literally just full of porn.
Okay,
so
right.
when you write in an OnlyFans person's name, a lot of graphic footage comes up, graphic content.
Anna Paul has 5 million fans on TikTok, and I live in the city and on the city because she was launching some clothing at Stacks, the activewear brand. The line was thick and long, and I didn't see the end of the line. I've never, living in the city for yonks, I've never seen such chaos and been confused because I'm old. I don't know who Anna Paul is. But then I was surprised you guys don't even know who Anna Paul
I
is.
have no idea.
Yeah, but also, I'll defend you there, Dina. You're not old. And usually someone, even if you might consider yourself an older fan, you still generally know who the person is. You're like, oh, yeah, that's Harry Styles, or that's someone from K-pop.
Matt?
This is a name we've never heard.
All right, Matt, where are you from, Matty?
I'm from the planet Jupiter.
Oh, okay, interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What do you know about Anna Paul, friend?
Okay, mate. So I know her just from like being the number one earner on OnlyFans, but I do not subscribe to her because I just don't believe in that.
Okay,
but
so he doesn't?
I was watching, so I was just watching TikTok one day, and she come up, and then my 14-year-old daughter was like, "Oh, why are you watching Anna Paul?" And I'm like, "Excuse me."
Right. Okay.
So your 14-year-old caught you watching Anna Paul's OnlyFans. Is that really what you're saying?
No. On TikTok. Because her brother Addis Paul or something like that. I think I was watching his, but they're a weird family, mate. They full travel around the world. They go. Her and her boyfriend go into like adult shops buying stuff to do her OnlyFans, and she's telling young kids this.
Okay, so there's a crossover for OnlyFans and young fans on TikTok. She's got both markets, oddly.
Oddly, yeah, it's crazy. It is really crazy. But I mean, props to her. She's making like millions and millions of dollars. And,
Mate,
How did you feel about knowing that your 14-year-old knew who she was and that she's maybe been exposed? Knowing that she knows what OnlyFans is, I was mortified.
right?
Absolutely mortified.
But maybe it's an odd crossover.
It is.
Why
It's
the kids look?
crazy, man.
She
Yeah.
seems pretty affable.
And I appreciate,
does.
as a parent,
He does,
it'd shook you, like it'd make you feel a little shook. But at the end of the day, the kids are going to find out about these OnlyFans stars at
100%.
one point. At least there's a nice crossover and they can watch their cute TikTok videos. They don't have to subscribe on OnlyFans. Like, I think it's almost I'm not a parent, but it's a way of them learning about this world.
Yeah, Jack, you're right, mate. You're right. And you can't, like at the end of the day, they're going to be, they're going to see it
Find
in
out.
this and that way one day. So,
Yeah.
Kids can find
That's
anything
all.
they want on the internet these days.
Correct.
Exactly. And I was like, you're not going to, like, man, I'm not that sort of parent, I'm pretty open and pretty, so it was just weird. It was just like, how?
All right.
Her brother looks cool on Insta.
Yeah.
Jack loves her brother.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Show
Addis.
Attis
Yeah,
Paul.
Attis.
The great Attis.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, Maddie, thank you for calling up. We'll give you some prizes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But you're in the draw for Nova's first class and 50K, and we're also going to send you a $200 voucher to Priceline. For health and beauty advice you can count on, visit Priceline Pharmacy. You'll be glad you asked.
No worries. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate
Hey,
that.
Jaden. Now you're part of the younger demographic. Jaden, what do you know about Anna Paul? School me, friend.
Well, I've got in big trouble knowing Anna Paul, actually.
Oh, why, Jaden? What happened?
I was just new to the OnlyFans website and just scrolling through. And she popped up on the screen, and I've got a partner as well. So I thought, I'll just have a look at this, scrolling through, and then some pretty bad videos came up, and that was the end of my day.
Sure.
Oh,
Jaden, is a way out of that sometimes maybe asking your partner to enjoy the content and watch the content together? Like, is that a get out of jail card or not really?
You can try it, but it doesn't always work.
Well, you should tell your partner to follow Mike Whitney on OnlyFans, and then you guys are all square. All right, so I think I guess I understand Anna Paul. Or
Yeah.
at least know who she is. She's a sex-positive millionaire, who's killing it on the internet.
With a
cool
And
brother.
Kids will line up for 8 hours.
educating the children.
Like, so she's doing sex ed?
Basically, it sounds like it.
God, we're old. Yet again, I lost money due to Jonathan Brown's horses.
I know.
I bet on 2 of his horses, and one of them lost, resulting in me losing money.
Because Brownie on Friday told us to do a multi in the boat to win
Yes.
and snap dance at a place.
I did the other way around, I think. Shit.
Oh, well, either way cooked us. But exciting for Brownie that Snap Dancer won, the Memsy Stakes at Caulfield on Saturday.
So Snap Dancer did win.
Snap Dancer won.
So if you put money on
On the win, but then I went into a place on another
Yeah, you
damn
it
horse.
was in a multi.
Thing is, when you bet on these horses, Ash, sometimes the horses don't run fast enough.
And you need both legs to get up, Ash,
Oh,
to
right.
win the whole multi.
for the multi.
Yeah.
Right.
So yet again, Jonathan
Owes us money.
has screwed us out of money.
but the horse did really well, so we should commend the horse.
Oh, hey,
because
I got
Snap
no-
Dancer won.
Absolutely.
No beef with the horse.
Yeah, the beef is with Brownie.
Its owner.
Yeah. So are you going to confront him face to face? Will you be carrying nunchucks or what weapon of choice are you going with?
Good choice.
Yeah.
Nunchucks.
Yeah, great.
I think just a nice invoice to his management. So then it's not questioned. They just pay it.
Maybe just get John McCall involved.
Or our head of finance here.
He can handle the paperwork.
Were you at the horses with Jonathan?
I was. I went along Saturday. It was an elite day, far out. And the weather was so mint. And I was there with the Olympia and Tom Bell Chambers. And my day started with having to safety pin Tom Bell Chambers' butt up with Olympia because he's split his pants the minute he walked in.
How did he do that, the big goose?
I didn't even know.
Too tight.
And then...
Correct. Too tight.
I also think too tall. Went to sit down because he's so big and they just split.
So you need a little more give.
He got strong cheeks.
Mate, strong cheeks.
It's probably the problem as well. Strong
Derriere
cheeks.
Yeah.
I said to Olympia, I was like, it's 11 a.m. and I'm getting a bit excited doing this at the races. Anyway, and then I sit down and there's this gorgeous woman sitting over me. And I was like, is that Olympia's mum? So I go up and I'm like, hi, I'm Jack. She goes, I'm Tanya, you're Jack. You're Jack. And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, I have to say, pass on my regards to Dino for all those shout-outs when she filled in the other day because she was in Greece at 3 a.m. listening via the Nova player.
Oh, that's amazing.
Waiting for her shout-outs, and she greatly appreciated all of her love.
A beautiful woman.
A beautiful woman, and you know how Olympia described her as like Olympia on steroids? She wasn't lying.
Really?
High
She's
energy?
fun.
Really?
She's so fun.
Ashley, what was the pinnacle of your weekend?
A lot of training over the weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of training. Lot of cycling, lot of running through Port Melbourne yesterday. There was a pretty heavy police presence, actually. I don't know.
Why?
There was a body found in the water.
Was it yours?
No.
Okay.
No, I survived the training.
What more do you know about the body in the water?
There aren't too many details going around.
Your
but
face says don't ask anymore.
No, a woman's body was found down along the beach in Port Melbourne, and so when we were there, it was the retrieval process was going on.
Did you stop or did you just keep running?
Momentarily, but then kept going. It was pretty
Committed to the cause.
pretty grim. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how to turn this conversation
Sorry.
around.
What was your pinnacle, Dean?
Oh, yeah, good question. I went to the museum Saturday night. Pretty cool. Got a bit lit and went and looked at a dinosaur.
That looked fun. And also, how was your entree you made for your friends Friday night?
I made sagging gnocchi with some sort of topping on it, and the cheese gets hard if you don't eat it quick enough.
Yeah, no.
So people had to hack at it.
Oh, no. Oh, Dean.
Hey, shit happens.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Yes, good morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Tuesday. It's just Jack and Ash with you for the next half hour. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. What happened to the Space Centre?
So it got called off.
Because it was meant to...
It got scratched.
It was meant to kick off 10:30 p.m. our time last night, right?
Yeah, and
From
it was
Florida.
From Florida, from the Kennedy Space Center. It was due to be NASA's first mission to the moon since Apollo, so a big deal. But it got scrubbed at the last minute because of a fuel leak and an engine problem. So essentially, the engine wasn't able to cool to the temperature it needed to be able to take off.
Far out.
Devastating. And there were tons of people lining the beaches and, at vantage points through Florida to get their eyes on it.
I know families would have kept their kids awake just to watch it happen. Although, what time was it there?
It was much earlier there, but
Right.
yeah, but you can imagine telling the kids, sorry, pack up, we're going back home.
What a letdown. Hey, yesterday how I was saying the moon's my favourite
Planet?
planet,
yeah.
or thing in space.
Yep.
It's only because Kanye West has a song called Moon that I love.
It's a good song.
It's a great tune. Also, big news overnight that I woke up to. The first thing I saw on Twitter, the great Roberta Williams has joined OnlyFans.
I did see this. Do we know what kind of content she's going to be bringing us?
Well, in the
saucy content, I'm assuming?
In the photo that she's shared on Instagram, which I immediately shared to Brodie, our producer here, because he is a massive fan.
Right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, a massive fan of the Williams family.
Uh-huh.
She is sitting on quite an exotic-looking bed. Like, there's a massive, it looks like a Pornhub bedhead. I'll say that.
Yeah, it does.
Quite started, and she's sort of
very luxe.
got a zip-up hoodie just covering her nipples.
So strategically placed hoodie.
So I think that suggests what kind of content she'll be sharing.
Did you watch the VMAs?
I did. I watched the full Nikki performance.
Yeah.
Which I think was probably the biggest performance because she won the award, the Vanguard Award, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
So she did a medley of so many great tunes, including her newest song, Super Freak. Mm-hmm. But that's sort of all I caught.
Did you see Johnny Depp made a cameo appearance?
I did, and people aren't happy. I saw one of Amber Heard's family members made a comment. What happened there?
Well, he appeared on stage in an astronaut suit between the acts. It was like a brief, very brief cameo, and this is what he said.
I just want you guys to know that I'm available for birthdays, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings, wakes, any old thing you need.
So he's basically saying, I'm back. Her family's obviously not going to be very happy with that.
But also, I think he's been accepted back into Hollywood, so...
He has.
Let's go to Barb. Hey, Barb.
Good morning, gang. How are we?
Good, Barb. What are you up to this morning?
Oh, I'm on my way to work, just back from Bali. Had 2 amazing weeks, so it's been fantastic.
Oh, what was the highlight?
Pretty much nothing, which means we did nothing. We relaxed by the pool, ate, drank, just did nothing.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
I love that, Barb, but I'm like a bit dubious about going to Bali because over our break, everyone that went seemed to get so sick. Did you avoid getting Bali belly or getting unwell?
I did actually. I was very cautious, but all good this time, thankfully.
Love that. Well, you are in the draw for Nova's first class and 50K twice, Barb.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day, guys.
You too.
You too.
Candice, good morning. Hey, what suburb are you in, Candice? I can't say that.
Good morning. It's Mooralbark.
Oh, it's
from Victoria.
Mooralbark. Okay,
I've got to say, the spelling on the screen in front of me doesn't look like Mooralbark.
To lift the curtain, when someone calls in, Candice, across any show on Nova, your name and suburb is entered into the phone box system. Now, this I can tell is our friend Brodie.
I was going to ask who you think this is.
This is Brodie. I'm always having to explain to him how to spell suburbs. Ash, can you please spell out how he spelled Mooralbark?
He has spelled Mooralbark, Murwillumbah, which I would pronounce that as Williambah.
What is that?
Oh, A for effort, though, right?
No. I wouldn't even say he gave it a red hot crack. I don't know what he's done there. It looks like he fell asleep on the keyboard halfway through.
It does. Candice, what are you up to this morning?
Late. Oh, well, I'm on my way to work, but last time when I called to enter the Nova 50K, it was late at night, so I'll give him that.
Right, okay.
So Brodie's pulling some night shifts.
Yeah, well, he's working overnight. Candice, you're in the draw twice as well, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
And let's sign him into Kate.
Nathan in Frankston, what are you up to?
I'm just working as usual. How are you all going?
Yeah, you sound a bit flat. What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just waiting. I just wanted to talk to you guys. It's been a while.
It has. Nathan, did you hear Roberta Williams has joined OnlyFans? I don't know why I feel like that's news for you. I just do.
Yeah, probably not. Not really interested in that stuff.
Oh,
there's something I'm interested in. There's 2 things. I'm interested in where's Dino.
He's had a little sleep in.
He's had a cheeky lie-in.
Oh, okay. And then the second thing was, can I please get Daniel's donuts?
You can get some Daniel's donuts.
Yeah.
And do you know what, Nathan? A Daniel's dozen is actually 13, so you get one extra just for the sake of it.
They're so good. When they first had their shop in Springvale, I literally, me and my friend just went to, we lived in Hastings and we would go there like almost every night.
That's a family outing to
Every
Springvale.
night.
Like it was bad. Like,
Do you
when
know
they first opened.
that Springvale store, Nathan? I remember when I did some stuff with them. It's insane how many donuts they sling out that door every day.
Oh mate, you should set a line.
Yes, they explained this to me.
They go back around past Spotlight, like all the way around the corner. Like it is incredible.
Do we need to do a road trip to Springvale to see this?
What are they secretly selling in there?
Well, I think it's because everyone goes along pretty highways to cruising, and they're all allowed to kind of meet there, and as long as they're doing something. So there's a big car park, so they park all their cars in there, and then they go, oh, well, we're here, so they just line up, everyone gets Daniel's donuts because they do milkshakes, they do hot food. They've got a real good variety. So,
this was the other thing we found out recently. It's not just donuts. It's coffee. It's the pies.
There's pies. And when I did a video for them, I didn't get to taste the pies. I need to though. Nathan, you're in the draw for Nova's first class and 50K twice, mate. So stay on the line.
Oh, you're awesome.
So last night I emceed an event. I emceed the South Eastern Women's Footy League Best and Fairest Awards night.
Whereabouts?
It was out in... That is a great question. Oh, my gosh, I've just blanked.
emceeing an event on a Monday night is
Sandhurst.
my idea of hell.
Out
in
Sandhurst. I had Springvale on my mind, but no, Sandhurst. And... I mean, it's great to see local footy back. It's the first time in 2 years that they've had an uninterrupted season.
Right.
So Very exciting. The last time I emceed for this league was actually right before COVID.
Okay.
It was the 2019 event. But something happened to me last night that typically only happens online, but it happened to me in person for the first time.
Oh, they muted you, mate.
No, they didn't mute me. They didn't mute me. I mean, you do that all the time. But a lady came up to me from the league and said to me, "How did you find the Commonwealth Games?" And I thought, that's a bit weird that she would assume that would be something that I was viewing pretty consistently. And then I thought, maybe she thought I was over there covering it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, maybe because you read all of those news.com articles about it, she thinks that you're just well-versed in the topic and wants to have a chat.
Then I realised she thought I was Ash Gardner, the cricketer.
I didn't know there was a cricketer.
Yeah, they're a very, very successful cricketer. I often get tagged online because people assume we're the same person.
Way.
Yeah, very successful. So I thought, how disappointing for these guys. They think a 2-time T20 World Champ winner, Commonwealth Games gold medalist is turning up. And they
what
get
a
me.
letdown. Yes, good morning. It's Jack and Ash with you. Dino will be joining us just after 6 for Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Yesterday on the show, we got a little lesson about Anna Paul. She's an influencer, huge on TikTok and on OnlyFans. You hadn't heard of her. I hadn't heard of her. Dino wasn't aware of her either.
And I'm on TikTok, and I get like...
And Brodie's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. So we're
well versed across
we've got an expert there.
Yeah.
But we did discuss the fact that on both Saturday in Melbourne and then I think Sunday in Perth, there were lines wrapped around the city for people to meet her at this Stax meet and greet, which is an activewear brand.
That's right. So she had this collaboration with Stax and she was touring the country as part of this new range that she was launching. She had an event in Sydney that drew larger crowds than she initially expected. Same in Melbourne, but the Perth event was the one that got out of control. Police actually had to shut it down just because it was so wild. Well, she has responded to fans, delivered, a bit of a video message to them, just explaining the shutdown. As she explains in the video, the Sydney event, they expected maybe 100 people to turn up, and there were far greater people than that. The same thing then happened in Melbourne, but even more people turned up to that. And then when it got to Perth, it was out of control.
Stax organised so much security that I thought it was overkill. The cops are here, everybody was ready. And we started doing the meet and greet. It was good for the first 20 minutes. And then the cops said, okay, we have to shut this down. There's too many people. We have never seen anything like this. The last time we saw something like this was for a Justin Bieber concert.
So she's Justin Bieber level.
Yeah, which is just wild because none of us know who you are.
And I also didn't even realise she was Australian until I heard this video message. I just assumed she was from the US and maybe that's why she
so did I
flying
actually
under the radar.
until you just said that. And she's got her brother Addis. He looks cool. He's a big deal now as well.
He's also there, yeah. But I thought, how wild could a meet and greet get? Then I saw in one article, turns out that one fan brought a pony to the event.
What?
I don't know at what stage you decide that bringing a small horse to a large gathering would be.
Is the horse on TikTok or OnlyFans? What?
Why the pony? And then, obviously, because people were lining up for so long, I think the real issue was that people started queue jumping and then tensions boiled over. And then that's when, I guess, things started flaring up and police had to shut it down.
I love the idea as well, lining up for an OnlyFans star. Or I guess she's on TikTok too, but after hearing that grab and sort of seeing a bit about her, I don't know if it's going to be the most electric chat that you have with her.
No, it's for the photo. It's for the photo.
Yeah, you're right. I should know better. It's the early show with Jack and Ash. Dino will be joining us just after 6. Now, really quickly, yesterday, Britney Spears dropped a 22-minute long video on YouTube.
Yes.
And it was deleted pretty quickly, but last night I found an unearthed version, I found a version that was secretly uploaded to another YouTube account, and I watched it all, and it was super interesting.
Right.
So I imagine someone in her team, if she's still got a management team, I don't know, someone in her team's going, hey mate, pull that down because...
You're missing out on a payday by putting that up.
A huge payday, but she quickly addressed that at the start of the interview.
I have
start of the YouTube clip, I should say.
I have offers to do interviews with Oprah and so many people, lots of money, but it's insane. I don't want any of it. For me, it's beyond a sit-down proper interview.
Now, in this, the full YouTube clip is so interesting. What she went through is wild. And I mean, I guess it's her version, not her dad's, but it sounds like proper Handmaid's Tale stuff.
And how is she in the video. I find some of her content hard to watch because she's quite erratic.
Yeah. But she spoke pretty well. Like, she sounded pretty normal compared to those clips that she puts on Instagram, those reels. They're wild.
They are wild.
It's like someone at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning on Chapel Street.
Yeah.
So she goes into depth about the facility she went to and everything like that. But my favourite bit of the video was her explaining her wildest antics and what she thinks the maddest thing she ever did was in her whole sort of famed career.
Literally, the extent of my madness was playing chase with paparazzi, which is still to this day one of the most fun things I ever did about being famous.
Dad, you're it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Rick, I'm coming for you.
It's the Early Show with Dino, Jack and Ash. Get up and go.
On Nova 100.
Doggies fans will be loving that. Nat Fife out for the first final on Saturday. Ash, in that news, this Chris Dawson guy. So have we had a situation like it's happened in America where a crime is the focus of a podcast and then new police attention is put on it because of the podcast? Is that what happened or not?
Oh, look, I think it's something that was probably bubbling away behind the scenes for a long time, but obviously it's just made headlines around the world because of this podcast. Obviously 40 years in the making. Lynette disappeared 40 years ago. Her body's never been found. And yesterday, her husband, Chris, was found guilty of her murder.
But like new evidence? Like why is it so late? Do we not know yet?
Oh, well, yeah, like they've been looking at it for 40-odd years now. So obviously there's, renewed focus on it.
I feel like there has been a renewed interest, though, since that podcast. And the podcast, over the time of airing, that uncovered some new sort of leads, et cetera, didn't it?
Yeah, like I think because there was this extra focus on it from that,
The Justice, Ian Harrison, I found him extremely captivating yesterday watching it. Because it went for something like 5 hours.
Yes.
But he was impressive.
Yeah, so he was going through the reasoning for his verdict, and that took hours. And,
so long.
And he really broke it down talking about, because there were reported sightings, and he kind of rubbished those claims. So he went through piece by piece, really what led to his decision.
Interesting. All right, so we're going to get someone in from the office next to have a chat about weird-ass phobias. You got any weird-ass phobias, Melbourne? Call us a bit later. We want to hear about them. We might laugh about them if they're funny. You know?
We will.
Yeah. 13 24 10. Jack, who have you brought into the studio?
She's coming especially for us nice and early. Annie, who works in I think it's called an audience engagement now.
It is.
Which is essentially the promotions department. And I was talking to her in the office the other day, and she revealed that she has a weird, irrational fear. And there was a story that went with this fear, and I was like, hang on, don't tell me any more because I need Dino and Ash to hear this.
Yes.
Annie, hit us.
Okay, so since I can remember when I was younger, I had a fear of escalators, the moving stairs.
Yes.
And I was petrified of them till I was about 17, like could not step on one physically. Like I would rather cry in public.
What?
Than step onto an
What
escalator.
about how would you get around then? Shopping centres?
Lifts or stairs.
Okay.
What?
Like, they were my only options.
Did you? Why?
I don't know. It appeared out of nowhere. Like I never knew why I had it. Mum later told me that Dad told me a scary story about them. So
right.
Apparently that's
So getting sucked under physically was your concern?
Yes.
And
getting a shoelace cord or
bizarre to
tripping
be
on them.
scared of escalators but not lifts. Like, 'cause
I know.
aren't you scared of being stuck in a lift? At least on an escalator, it's open air.
Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
I can
Yeah,
understand
it's like the
that kind
opposite.
of churning mechanical nature of a lift, though. I understand that would be overwhelming, especially if you're, when you're young.
Yes, I mean I was 16 and I still had the fear, so I don't know if that still qualifies. But
No, that's insanely old to be scared of something.
well, yes, it is. Well, yes, it is.
Wow.
And so this is what happened, right? So it's year 10. I'm doing work experience in the city, right? And the closest train station is Flagstaff. Now, I don't know if you've ever been.
Steep.
But they have the steepest, thinnest escalators in Melbourne. They're horrible.
And this is the one with the photo set up so people have something else to focus on, right? That's how
I'm pretty
steep
sure.
these
Like, that's how
escalators
steep they are. Like, they just never end.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrifying. And I had a friend there that would meet me at the train station, and we'd go down the escalators together for most of the days. But one day she couldn't come, and I was like, oh, God. So I got to the train station and I'm like, I went to try to do it alone. I couldn't. The lift was broken down. So I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I actually am so stuck. So I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to have to ask a stranger to hold my hand as I step onto the escalator. I'm not joking.
How old were you at this point?
I was 16.
No.
Yep.
No.
So I'm looking around and there's a mum-looking lady and I'm like, oh, she looks friendly. Like,
She's
I just
approachable.
asked her. She's approachable. So I went up to her. She just gives me the side eye and just goes, ugh, and just walks off.
Wait. How did you phrase it to this lady? What did you say to her specifically?
I'll explain when I say how I approach the next person. So then I'm just waiting for another woman to come past and there's none. Like, it's just men in suits at this point.
Yep.
And it's getting later and darker and I'm like, I need to get home. Like, I need to ask someone else. So I go up and there's this man in a suit and I was like, hi, like, I'm sorry. I know this is really strange and it's really embarrassing, but I've got a really big phobia of escalators. Can you hold my hand as I step onto the escalator? So embarrassing. I know, Dino's just giving me a look right now. But I was like, oh my gosh. And he understood. He's like, my son has a phobia of escalators. It's fine. He kind of like played it off, literally held my hand stepping onto the escalator. And then I let go and I was fine and I got down and I got home.
Did you do the fingers intertwined handhold or did you do the palm on
No,
palm?
it was intertwined.
Intertwined is creepy.
Yeah, it is creepy.
That's creepy.
It was like, maybe like a 40-year-old man in a suit, but it's fine. We got through
brave.
it.
That is so brave.
So was you thinking, like, they're not going to kill two people, the escalators, like safety in numbers?
No, it's just like, I feel like I'm more sturdy if I hold someone's hand onto it. Like, that was my only way of getting on.
Annie, you're a freak.
I am a freak.
Absolute freak.
But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
In basically a year after that, I was going overseas on exchange to America. And I was like, I need to overcome this fear before I go because I'm going alone. I'm not going to have mum to hold my hand. Like, I need to overcome it. So I ended up going to Chadstone Shopping Centre and practicing up and down the escalators for like 2 hours.
For training.
Yes.
For training. We trained.
Did anybody come up to you and question what you were doing?
No, surprisingly.
Security didn't think it was a little odd. Didn't get bundled out.
She could be a terror threat. Like, why are you just loitering up and down that escalator?
I must say, like, I did look about 10 when I was 16.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
probably had some buffer there. Mum was with me. Like, I think it looked okay. But, well, actually, no. It probably looked very strange. But we got through it.
So your mum was there spotting you just to make sure,
Yep.
like at the gym?
Yep. Basically.
Are you over the fear now?
I am over the fear. By the time I went to the airport to go to America, I did every escalator alone. And I've fully overcome my fear.
I love that.
This is amazing.
13 24 10 if you have any stupid irrational fears. I don't think anything's going to top that, but I would love to hear
That's
from
amazing.
Phobias. They're shit. They can cripple you with anxiety and it's awful. Angela, yours.
Yes.
Yes.
Hers is yes.
Yes.
Angela, what is your phobia?
So they're my daughters. I have 5 daughters, and their phobia is on moth.
Okay. Well, on face value, they are very strange. They've got beards.
Yeah.
They hang out in your wardrobe and eat your clothes.
They're like fuzzy butterflies.
They're not scary because of their size. What I find scary about them, Angela, it's the texture. Like when one touches you, that dust you get on your...
They're made of dust. They're made of evil souls escaped from hell, actually, Angela.
Angela, why are they so scared?
I'm not sure. I don't know why, but it's just I think it's the flutter, just the fluttering. But they just shake in their boots, petrified of them. They're 20, 19, 18, 12 and 10, and they're still petrified of them.
I think you'll find Jack's phobia is having 5 kids.
Wow, both your phobias have met. This is scary shit.
Hey, Angela, we're going to send you a $200 voucher to Harris Scarf. Discover the Springs collection with Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, will she need another one with 5 kids? Like
Yeah,
a double?
actually, should we also throw in a Priceline voucher?
I have 6 kids. I have a son.
All right,
and
mate.
my daughter.
All right, mate. Well, we will need DNA tests for all these kids if you want these prizes.
We'll also send you a $200 voucher to the great Priceline. For health and beauty advice you can count on, visit Priceline Pharmacy. You'll be glad you asked. And then for the son, I mean, this is very stereotypical of me, but a copy of Life and Football by Jonathan Brown.
Awesome, thank you. That's awesome.
That's all the kids?
Yes.
Yep.
No
That you
others.
know of.
Tommy in Somerville, phobias, go.
Good morning. What's going on? Growing up, I was scared of pooing with a jumper on.
Sorry, what?
Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah.
So physically, you couldn't use the bathroom if you were wearing a jumper at the time.
Wouldn't come out.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
because I was scared that the jumper was too long and I would pull on the jumper.
Has this happened for you to then create this fear?
No, thank God.
All right.
What an odd thing.
So every time you need to use the bathroom, you'd remove your jumper beforehand?
So my family knew what I was doing if they just saw me randomly get up and take my jumper off. So,
Tom, this is too bizarre to be a lie. This is good stuff.
I know.
yeah.
Did you remove you removed your pants though, yeah?
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
Hung them
good.
on the door.
Good.
Well, Tom, I hope therapy straightens that out. That's strange. And here's a prize.
We're going to send you a... whereabouts are you? You're in Somerville. We're going to also send you a $200 voucher to Harris Scarf. Discover the
lovely.
spring collection with Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
What other stuff are you scared to do with a jumper on?
I don't know, not much else.
Would you make love with a jumper on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it buys me a drink first.
Well, sadly, this irrational phobia chat has spiraled into toilet chat, it seems.
It has. And it started with Annie, who works in our office at the start of the show because she has a fear of escalators and had to go up and down an escalator for 2 hours at Chadston.
Uh-oh, special guests in the studio.
Sammy Pang.
Good morning, Melbourne. Sammy, what?
That's weird.
Wow.
I meant to call you our nickname, but I can't say that
No,
on air.
you can't say that one.
So I stopped. Hey,
We've seen you here at this time of day.
It's wonderful to be here. Well, Chris is away, so I'm in early. Just there's a little sizzle, you know what I mean? Coming up, stuff. You get 3 hours of power with me today.
Wow.
You're
do
a
you
company man in that sense, in many ways.
In many ways, Dean.
do you have an irrational fear?
I don't know if it's an irrational fear. It's more just a genuine, deep-seated dislike of young people.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, which is why you go to
Good
nightclubs
one,
and
Dan.
ask them to turn down the music.
Hey.
So no one can have fun.
Whoa!
Hey, that
I
nightclub was loud in his
Thank you.
defence.
It really was loud.
You
wasn't
Grow
it?
up.
Because if you can't have fun, no one will.
Exactly.
Michaela, it doesn't have to be toilet stuff, but what's your irrational fear?
So when I was a kid, I had a fear of eating broccoli because I thought it would grow a tree inside my stomach.
Hey, fair enough.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah, no, that's not insane at all.
Bo and Hastings, what do you got for us?
How are you, mate? I am scared of public toilets. I will hold on to that poo all day until I get home.
I do that.
Why? What are you scared of specifically?
It's grotty.
Just another toilet. Other people sitting on a toilet. Just the whole other toilet scenario.
Oh, yeah, it's... Bo, when you're sitting a metre away from someone and they're doing the same thing, it's... If you think about that too much, it can really psych you out.
Hey, we were talking public
Hey, God,
toilets.
Sam.
I find it hot.
We were talking public toilets on the show the other day.
Hey, all right then.
And Dino, I sent you a photo. There is a sanitizer spray at most public toilets now. And you can use the surface spray to clean it. Have you seen that, Bo?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, there's some here at work.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know what that button did. Oh,
Yeah.
There's a surprise. There's a surprise, mate.
Hey, Bo, we're going to send you a $200 voucher to Harris Scarf. Discover the spring collection with Harris Scarf. Great brands, great
Beautiful.
prices. Michaela can have one too.
One of the greats. Harry, you got one real quick? You loose cannon?
Yeah, I got a quick one. It's not about me, though. It's about a mate.
Yes.
So basically, he's afraid of peas.
Peas?
Yeah, green like peas, like frozen peas. Well, not frozen peas, but cooked peas. His dad, well, basically as a kid, he didn't eat his peas.
Hey, we're going to go.
Oh, no.
It's the early show with Dino, Jack and Ash. Get up and go.
On Nova 100.
What do you guys reckon about this Dusty thing? What is it?
So it's a video that appears to be a pretty old video, and it shows a bunch of players, looks like a bar or club, and a woman is kind of sitting on the lap of a guy, and Dusty walks past, hands her a drink, and then gropes her breast and then moves on. And it started circulating late yesterday, and so the AFL is now seeking a bit more info into it just to find out, I guess, what action they need to take.
It's pretty awful journalism. The night before their final, the video's from 2017, and it's conveniently been leaked yesterday. Like,
classic.
That is just dog.
I wonder I wonder if it has been around if they've had access to it for a little while.
I would think so. Or whoever has filmed it and whoever's phone it was on has decided that now was the perfect time to let it go.
Ideal time.
What else is in the news? Anything interesting, gang?
One thing that I kind of expected to happen that's now happened in relation to Chris Rock. Obviously, he came out recently and said he wouldn't be doing the Oscars hosting gig next year despite the offer from the Academy because it would be like returning to the scene of the crime. Specifically, he referenced the O.J. Simpson case and said it would be like Nicole Simpson returning to the restaurant to get her glasses. Her family's now pretty unhappy about that because they're saying it's a bit disrespectful because obviously there are still family members that are coping with the loss of her. So he's under fire for that.
I'm not diminishing the fact that it's a dark territory to go to, but he was doing a stand-up show and he was at a comedy club. So maybe if we were to report on every comedian in even this city and what they say in a comedy club, it's like, of course that's going to ruffle feathers or upset people.
That's fair play. It's Chris Rock and his comedy thing.
And apparently that's, like, it's often a line of gags that he goes down.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, that's often sort of what
his territory.
Makes jokes about.
Well. Anyone see Dave O'Neill on the telly on Front Bar? I didn't see it.
No, I didn't.
No, apparently he was brilliant, but I did receive, you might have got this as well, Dino, a photo at about 11 o'clock of him and Sam both at a bar, and Dave O'Neill is drinking a beer.
At a bar?
Yeah.
Dave O'Neill's at a bar?
And it's not a Diet Coke, guys. It's an actual pint of Carlton Draft.
Yeah, I've had a beer with Dave. It's rare. Like, he doesn't have many, but he'll have one.
He's going to be joining us in studio now this morning as well at 8:40.
What?
Yeah.
No shit.
How good.
Good morning. It's the early show on Nova 100 and spare a thought for Leonardo DiCaprio's latest girlfriend. Sadly, she's too old and rickety at 25, and Leo's had to watch her sink to the bottom of the ocean, metaphorically.
Sad news. I saw a flare had been lit at California State High School to signal that he is now single and available.
Stop.
He's got a history of dumping chicks at 25. He's 47. The internet has been cruel to poor Leonardo.
Has the internet been cruel, or have they just pointed out a consistent pattern of behaviour?
Hey, the guy has a type. It's legal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah.
And it's Leo. You know, like, if it was your uncle, you'd be like, what are you doing, you dickhead? But it's Leo.
It's Leo.
If Camilla Munro got upset, who he broke up with, or Marone, sorry, Camilla Marone, is that how you would pronounce it? Morrone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marone? What a bizarre last name. I'd be like, mate, it's all good. Here's 500 grand. Here's a copy of The Wolf of Wall Street. If you miss me, whack it on.
Oh, Jack's encouraging him to pay off women.
So she's not going to get a payout.
No, I'm just kidding. But it's just like, he's Leo. Like, he'll be able to deal with a breakup. I'd love to hear Leo breaking up with her.
My question was going to be: has he ever actually verbalised that they've hit 25? It's time to say goodbye.
No,
thing?
Of course not.
No.
It's just the internet.
Well, then what's the reason? Does he give a reason?
Like as in, what would he say to them?
Yeah.
Right, they get too old for him.
It's as simple as that.
I love the tweets.
My favourite thing I saw on Twitter was a graph. Someone's done their due diligence and put together a graph of all of his former girlfriends.
Yeah. This is wonderful. I love stats.
What info you got for us? What insights?
So he was with Giselle.
Oh yeah, Bunchen. Broke up in 2005, then she went to Tom Brady.
How did you know that off the top of your head?
This is
obsessed.
good from you.
Obsessed.
So, Dino, they got together in 99. She was 18.
So that's young, eh?
He left her in 2004 when she was 23. She didn't even make it to 25.
She didn't even make it.
Also, bear in mind, he got with his current girlfriend at 42 when she was 20.
She was 20.
That's so strange.
After Giselle,
That's so strange. She's a child.
He went with a girl named Bar Raphael.
Oh, yeah.
She was 20 in 2005. He split up with her at 25 in 2010.
Hey, coincidence.
Hey, Blake Lively, I missed this.
Yeah, brother.
Him and Serena were together. She was 23 in 2011 when they started dating, and it ended that year.
Yep.
Oh, that was
because
short.
25 was just on the horizon.
He knew it was coming.
He could see it.
And he didn't have 24 months up his sleeve.
No.
Plus she-
Need to move on to something younger by then.
She won anyway. She ended up with Ryan Reynolds.
Correct.
He's the coolest boy on
Yes.
earth.
Good Canadian
But
boy.
let's all just spare a thought for Tony, her name is. Tony, I can't say her last name. He got with her in 2013 at 20 and dumped her at the start of 2014 when she just turned 21.
Because she kept asking for Bieber tickets.
My biggest takeaway is that Dean is a closet Leo Rain Man. Just knows all these stats off the top of
I know,
his
it's
head.
impressive.
Yeah, it's
He's
all
an
right.
absolute king, though, in terms of his
Yeah.
acting. I'm not talking about
How
his...
is he meeting them? Like at frat parties or
Mate.
You meet them at Time Zone.
at the front of bottle shops when they're asking strangers to buy them booze because they're under 21?
No, I think he waits outside California State High School's graduation. As they're finishing.
Yes, he does.
He's got his limo there. He's got two, bodyguards standing out the front just handing out flyers.
And fizzy drinks. 'Cause kids love fizzy drinks.
Just bottles of pop.
I want to see some more great Leo tweets because people were teeing off on online yesterday.
They were.
It was magical. Can you assemble some, Jackie? We'll come back.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on Leo and his pattern of heartbroken 25-year-olds? Nathan in Frankston, share some insight, friend.
I think he's just an old man trying to get some young putang.
That's one way of putting it. That's eloquent.
That is Nathan from Frankston's way of putting it.
Welcome to Frankston, bitch. We're coming back with some of these tweets and we'd love your thoughts.
Some of them are gold.
You got some, Ash?
The one that's making me chuckle, I probably can't say on air.
Okay.
I'll flag it with you and we'll come back.
Okay, great.
25, a turbulent age. I remember dealing with the pressures of a credit card debt. And spare a thought for a young lady out there who's just got dumped by Leo DiCaprio. He's got a track record of 25-year-olds dumping him.
That makes me feel better about my credit card debt because I'm 25 now and that's literally my biggest issue.
And the data is consistent. Jack has just pulled up a chart,
There's a graph.
and it goes through the stats, and I mean, the data doesn't lie.
On the Titanic, Rose was like 18, so they would have had a long run.
Solid 7 years.
A long run, if only he didn't sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Because she hogged a door.
I love in the report about Leo splitting with Camilla, it says that they quietly split. Quote, there are no bad feelings between them. It just came to a natural conclusion.
Natural being her age.
Being Leo saying, get out.
Yep, she was too busy at Toys R Us purchasing. Wait, what tweets we have?
Oh, some of them are wonderful. 3 things are certain in life: death, taxes, Leonardo DiCaprio breaking up with his girlfriend before her prefrontal cortex has fully developed.
And speaking of Titanic, Dino, another one I enjoy.
Yeah.
December 19th will mark the 20th anniversary of Titanic being released in US theatres, which means it still has almost 4 months of eligibility left to go on a date with Leonardo.
Bang! Cop that!
Maybe Leonardo DiCaprio hated 9/11 so much that he can't even date women who remember it. Did that even
That's a big one! That's a big one!
I love that. This is another good thought starter. The girl Leonardo DiCaprio will dump when he's 72 was born today.
Think about that.
Think about that.
That's one that sinks in.
Happy birthday, darling, by the way. Leonardo DiCaprio is actually dating all the under 25s he possibly can to spread the word about climate change to those who'll be most impacted.
So he's a humanitarian.
He is.
People don't remember that.
And Megan has a question. I like this. It's sort of what we were talking about earlier. I need to know how Leo conducts these breakups. Does he start picking fights months before they turn 25 to be less conspicuous? Or do they wake up on their birthday simply to a note that says, sorry, I can't do it anymore, don't hate me?
I'd like to think it's not a text, Leo. Look these kids in the eye, Leo. You could be their dad, brother.
I wonder, yeah.
Like, does he sit him down, dad style?
Or is there a contract when they start dating? Because Leo famously makes people sign NDAs when they go to parties with him, or even if they sleep with him, they sign an NDA before they do.
What? I didn't know before.
Yeah, before he beds anyone.
That would kind of kill the mood, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I
It's
think
Leo.
think legal paper's pretty hot.
And it's Leo. But imagine if you start dating him and he's like, here,
Sign that.
we've got 2 years.
You can't talk about my pecker to TMZ. Are you well? It's the early show on Nova 100. Tommy in Chermside Park, what can we do for you, brother? What do you think about Leonardo DiCaprio?
I reckon he should just stick with him.
Yeah, right. Sure. Go the long haul.
Go the distance.
We've got a romantic on the phone here.
We do.
Tommy, you're 24, so you'd have a year with Leo.
Say that again, sorry?
You're 24, so you'd have a year with Leo.
Yeah, well, I don't go that way, so...
Well,
you wouldn't jump the fence for Leo?
You'd give it a crack. Tommy.
No, I don't think I would.
Well, you must be not very adventurous.
Tommy sounds fun.
Because we'd search that man's body like that little submarine searched the Titanic.
We'd sign that non-disclosure and go
absolutely.
all out.
Here's a prize.
We're going to send you there's so many new prizes, guys. I'm going to send you a double pass to Moon Age Daydream. It's only in cinemas September 15th.
Lucky.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy.
I'm just Googling that. Is that like a kid's movie?
Is it?
It's a documentary musical. Tommy will hate that. Tommy, I've gone back.
Sorry, Tommy.
Tommy, I retract that movie. It's a musical. I get the vibe you're not into musical documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
No, okay, cool.
If he doesn't want to search Leo's body, I doubt he wants to watch a documentary about musicals.
Probably not.
6 bottles of wine from Zonzo Estate. Enjoy authentic Italian cuisine paired with the perfect drop at Zonzo Estate in the heart of the Yarra Valley. Do you like wine?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, cool.
Very chatty, Tommy.
Thank you.
Loves the scam, Tommy. Rachel. Good morning, Rach.
Good morning.
You going to the gym?
I am.
You want some motivation?
I would love some.
You want it medium, soft, or hard?
Oh, hard.
Okay.
Get to the gym, woman! Pump that shit!
Rachel, I want you to work out so hard that you look 24 again and you can date Leonardo DiCaprio.
Rachel, if you've got a 6 a.m. class, you better hurry the hell up because you've got 3 minutes to get there.
It's the early show with Dino, Jack and Ash. Get up and go.
On Nova 100.
Oh, man, the footy was unbelievable. How many lead changes were there?
That was insane.
High stress and a lot of controversy around the Tom Lynch goal as well.
What do you mean? What do you reckon?
Well, Damien Hardwick said in his... I've got the grab here. Essentially, they went to the review and it was decided it wasn't a goal and he's not happy about that.
Well, why don't we just let the umpires make the call? They're paid to do a job. Let them do a job. Or don't have them.
Demar, you know that the score review is the new way. You can't just go back to old eyeballs, can ya?
And I reckon you can't. And at the time, Lynch didn't celebrate, did he, as if it were a goal?
Correct.
So it's almost like he knew. I wanted the Tigers to win. I was rooting for them, but I do think the correct call was made.
Okay.
And my highlight was when the game finished, and then someone up in Brizzy, the work experience kid, hit the wrong button.
Did you notice a dash?
And played the wrong song.
I went to bed before the end of the game.
Oh.
I was exhausted. Why? What happened?
You nerdburger. It was the greatest finals game
I know.
in a decade.
I know.
I don't think it's up yet, Jackie.
On the Friday or early show ball?
1 second.
It was.
I mean, someone hitting the wrong button and the wrong thing playing would never happen here.
I thought of him straight away. I was like, they're flirting him up.
Where is
All
it?
good.
What side?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it on the wall.
I'm
But
just checking.
It was quite a moment, Ash.
Hey, just pause. Just pad for a bit while old Dino has a look for the damn grab.
We can enjoy it later.
No, we don't have it. Shit, what a game.
I know.
What it gives us the shootout. Just end to end, bang, bang, for 3 hours.
And then Joe Danaher just did it, just in the nick of time.
13-24-10. Were you having a... Actually, let's speak to a Lions fan. I want to know what you were going through last night.
How's your blood pressure?
Surely the other games would be shit after that. That was unbelievable.
And Dimmer, watching Dimmer, I'm like, that man's about to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Wild game last night. We're in Melbourne, so not a lot of Lions fans around. I want to hear what's going on in your body last night, Katie.
Yeah, buddy. What a game. What a game.
Whoa. Describe your behaviour at their final siren.
I was going crazy. I actually thought we lost it when they were 16 points up. I think that was about the 14th lead change for the game. That was unreal.
Katie, where were you watching the game?
At home in the lounge room while my wife was asleep, and I woke her up, and yeah.
So you should wake her up. Why was she asleep, Katie? That's ridiculous.
She's not a massive fan of footy, and she plays for Collingwood, so, you know.
So she's a great woman.
Yeah, but she loves Lions to me, so it's great.
Mate.
Did you ever consider flying up for it, Katie?
I did, actually.
Yeah, because I had a few mates from Melbourne that, my one group of sort of relatives that I know that barrack for the Lions, and they went up there.
There's a few. There's a few old Fitzroys. Yeah, there's plenty.
Of course, I forget the old Fitzroy connection. There's loads of Lions supporters here.
And it looked like an electric vibe being there as well from the stories I saw.
Oh, it would have been amazing. It
Yeah.
absolutely would have been amazing. So hopefully when we play down here next week, it'll be the same. But I'm going tonight and tomorrow, so I'm wrapped.
Yes.
Did you get a little fright, Katie, when the wrong song was played shortly after the siren
I
went?
did actually. I thought, what is going on? That's not our song.
It was great shit because the wrong song played for long enough, so you certainly knew that someone stuffed up. Shit.
Oh, no.
Best.
Do you think it was a case that they assumed Richmond was going to win, so they had that on cue, ready to go?
No, because the ball's down the other end. You'd have to be a bit of a spanner, wouldn't you, to press the wrong button?
Yeah. I mean, who would do that? Who would press the wrong button?
You'd have to be
also
an A-grade moron.
There was enough time between the game ending and it playing. It wasn't like it played straight away. There was about 10 seconds of thinking time for little Jim who hit the wrong button.
Oh, no, poor Jim.
That was good shit. I was dying with laughter when that happened. Katie, at the end, there's 2 minutes to go and Daniel Rich gets called for travel. They never call that.
Yeah, never. But, yeah, when you watch it back, he did take too many steps.
Yeah. But if you count a lot of players' steps, I reckon there's cheeky troubles happening every day.
Yeah.
And then they call it at that point of the game. It was effing insane.
Do you think it's just because it was such high stakes that they were really narrowing down on the smallest details?
Yeah. I definitely think umpires do wig out a bit in those situations.
Yeah.
Or some. Often in grand finals, they just let everything go. But last night, they're getting picky.
Do we think this means that Richmond will now have their Silly Sunday or Mad Monday this weekend?
Well, they know there'll be a lot of honking going on, won't there? Won't there?
There will be.
Won't there?
No comment.
Because we've got Nathan Broad on the show Monday morning, right?
Oh, no, he won't be coming here on Monday morning.
Thinking.
No, you best tee somebody else up.
And I've got his fiance's hens on Saturday Night Taylor.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm like, do we just bring her in?
No, she probably won't be any good on Monday morning.
She'd be better than him, I reckon.
Brodie was playing on Charlie Cameron too, who had a night out. Poor bastard.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was quite something.
But that, and sorry if you don't like footy. It was just great last night.
Another thing I thought about last night in bed was imagine going through Tom Lynch's message requests. His Instagram, and I've been with mates who play footy when they finish a game, and their message requests are just evil. It's just a fire of venom.
Hate-filled messages.
And I can imagine Lynch's last night after that would have been
Who does that?
awful.
Who takes the time out to...
Full troll bogans.
Yeah, awful.
Angry footy fans. Some of them are funny, but a lot of it's awful.
Adults are doing this.
Grown people.
It's wild shit.
With kids.
Yeah.
Man, if you were Lynch last night, you'd keep replaying that over in your mind. It's rough.
It'd be like a sleep paralysis dream waking up this morning.
No.
It's rough.
It's real.
I feel for him.
Rough. Well, Katie, congratulations. Good luck, friend.
Thanks, buddy.
Give us something, Jackie.
Yeah, Katie, we're going to send you a $200 voucher to Priceline for health and beauty advice you can count on. Visit Priceline Pharmacy. You'll be glad you asked, and you're in the draw for Nova's first class and $50K.
Thank you so much, Nova. Go Lions.
Yeah. Ashley.
Oh, hello. I want to talk about disastrous pickup attempts. Had a colleague from the newsroom yesterday morning tell me about an incident early in the morning on the way to work. She'd stopped off at the servo. It was about 3:45 in the morning. She'd popped in to get a coffee.
Okay.
A guy tried to pick her up at the servo. He shoplifted and then threw up next to her car. I was like, sorry, I need you to unpack this. There's a lot going on here. So she reckons as she went into the service station, there was a guy there. His pockets were filled with snacks from the servo. He only paid for one of them and then said to her, do you have a boyfriend? She was a little taken aback, and then he was like, "Do you want one?" Hands her his number.
Oh, a confident young man.
Very confident.
And wait, do we know if the shopkeeper had clocked that he was a thief as yet? No.
I guess she could see from the angle she was at that his pockets were bulging with snacks. And he only paid for one, turned around and left. When she got her coffee, went outside about 5 minutes later, he was there throwing up next to her car. Hi.
Okay. All right. Maybe he just wanted to clear the pipes before he went in for the kiss.
Or maybe he was like imagining a sort of Mr. and Mrs. Smith sort of situation. He needed an accomplice to thieve with.
Oh. Or get her on side because he knew she'd seen him.
Or that.
Steele.
Don't call the cops, but here's my number.
Yeah.
So old Numbnuts has had a big night, stopped in for a feed at 7-Eleven where all the nutrition is. And then he's gone, I need to get some action. I'm going to roll the dice. Like, that's a definition of the last roll of the dice.
But it sounded like his number was already written down. So how prepared is he that he's walking around with slips of paper with his number
It's impressive.
on it in his pocket, ready to go?
He's flyering
at all times.
For his Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. While being a shit thief, he had pretty good organisational skills.
Yeah, and poor gastro health.
Yeah.
Poor gastro.
That's grim.
All right, so they hooked up then?
Yeah, obviously they're getting married later in the year.
Love that.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And as a newsreader, she should have run that story throughout the morning.
That's what I said.
Which city were we in?
Adelaide.
Okay.
So it wasn't Smooth FM's Jen Hansen. It wasn't?
No.
All right, well, no one called up saying they had a worse pickup attempt than the guy who, at the 7-Eleven this morning, went up to one of our newsreaders after stealing a whole bunch of shit. And she could tell he was trying to steal shit because his pockets were overflowing with Cheetos and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he went out to the front after asking if she had a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's just an innocent question.
Yeah, fair
And
game.
Gone out and vomited on her car.
Yep.
Next to the car.
Well, I think she had to hose the car down. Oh,
that's putrid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was some splatter, for want of a better word. So she had to give her car a quick clean as well.
What a douchebag.
Yeah.
Amy in Greensborough.
Hi.
Can you top this story?
Well, I was about 16 at the time, and I was getting my hair done. And the apprentice hairdresser was a nice little, nice gentleman.
Nice little.
And he was
a nice little what?
Where were you going? Please finish that sentence, Amy.
Oh, a nice little creep. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, good.
Like that.
Yeah, he was washing the colour out of my hair, and he's like, "I would really like to take you out." And I was like, I just met you 2 minutes ago, and no thank you.
Oh, dear.
I was 16.
Amy, that sucks, mate.
And there's nothing more unflattering than that gown strapped around your neck like you'll never breathe the same again.
You're in a real vulnerable situation.
As Jack said, you're in a vulnerable situation after he's dropped that on you, and you've... Wait, what did you say? Did you say maybe, or you just said straight up no, creep boy?
Oh, I lied and said I had a boyfriend.
Smart. Very smart.
Could have got some free, Kevin Murphy out of that, Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but
Oh man, that's so weird. So he's keen on you, and then he's stuck there just massaging your scalp.
Yeah, it was. I'll never forget it.
And high risk as well, because you're now lying back and he's just holding your head. He could put whatever chemical he wants into your hair and destroy it.
He could have given me a perm.
Exactly.
And I mean, as you said, Amy, he was a little creep.
That little hair creep.
He was a little creep.
I reckon he collects all the hairs at the end of the day and sniffs them. That's what I think.
That's a reality.
Yours is probably still in a jar on his top shelf. Amy.
Sadly, he's probably stucky taped your hair to a doll at home, and he sniffs it.
Hey, it's Amy from 30 years ago.
Yeah, he takes it out of the jar with Amy labelled on it.
Sorry about all this, Amy.
Deep inhale.
That's fine.
Amy, we're going to send you a $200 Priceline voucher for health and beauty advice you can count on. Visit Priceline Pharmacy. You'll be glad you asked, and you're in the draw for Nova's first class and $50,000.
Thank you so much.
One of the greats.
It's the Early Show with Dino, Jack and Ash. Get up and go.
On Nova 100.